Someone once asked the mystic Osho,
why is it that so many people abandon their intelligence, their sensitivity, their responsibility, and their individuality when they become part of a group? Must the rebellious spirit always be alone?
And he said, the rebellious spirit is basically the experience of one's own individuality, absolutely free from any kind of psychological slavery. It is a revolt against being reduced to a cog in the wheel. It is against the crowd mind. The crowd mind is the lowest mind in existence. It is the minimum sensibility, minimum consciousness, minimum love, minimum life. One simply survives, one does not live, because life is not a dance. The crowd never wants anybody to be unique. It hurts the crowd mind. The unique person is a humiliation because it reminds people of what they are and what they could have been. The presence of the unique person makes them aware of what they have missed, and they have missed their whole life. They cannot forgive the unique person, although he has done no harm to them. He has always done great service to humanity. He has brought more beauty to existence, more poetry to life, has created more songs in the souls. He is the very salt of the earth. All that man is, whatsoever is great in man, belongs to only a very few unique individuals' contribution. But the crowd cannot forgive them. It can forgive criminals, it can forgive murderers, it can forgive politicians, it can forgive any kind of person in the world. But it cannot forgive a man who has an individuality of his own, who is not part of the collective mind. The psychology of the crowd has to be understood. When you become part of a group, a crowd, a mass, you surrender yourself. You say, now the group exists, I am no more. As an individual, you have committed suicide. Now you will think the way the group thinks. You will live the way the group lives. You will be obedient, subservient, a perfect slave, because the more you are a perfect slave, the more respect you will gain from the crowd, from the group, from the collective you have become a part of. The collectivity honours those who sacrifice themselves. Yes, your ego will be fulfilled. It is to fulfill your ego that you sacrifice everything. Your intelligence, your sensitivity, your responsibility, your individuality, and just become a mechanical part which cannot say no to anything. The rebel has to remain an individual. That does not mean that he cannot be friendly with others, that he cannot love others, that he cannot join people. But he loves without losing his individuality, without losing his freedom. He can become part of a group, making it clear to the group that I am not surrendering to you or anybody. I am just joining you with my individuality intact, my intelligence free, my individuality undamaged. I will respect you and I expect the same from you. Neither are you my slave nor am I your slave. We are friends. But such groups have not existed up to now. This is my dream. This is my hope, because all groups, religious, political, social, have been against the individual. I would like communes in the world which are not against the individual, but which are a support and a nourishment to the individual. The group in itself has no soul. The soul belongs to the individual. The group exists for the individual, not vice versa. The individual does not exist for the group. But up to now, this has been the rule. If you are a Christian, then you exist for Christianity. Christianity does not exist for you. If you are a Hindu, then you exist for Hinduism. And if there is a need to die, you will have to die for Hinduism. But Hinduism is neither living for you nor dying for you. Just words, ideologies, fictions have destroyed the reality. The individual is the only reality, the very crown of existence, the highest peak that existence has been able to reach up to now. Hence I teach the rebel. That does not mean that the rebels will not have their friends, that they will not live in communes, that they will all be solitary, living in caves in the Himalayas, absolutely alone. That is not my intention at all. I want to change the structure. The society should be for the individual, then there is nothing harmful in it. It should be a help, a nourishing ground for growth, for intelligence, for consciousness, for sensitivity, and it will allow enough space, enough territory to every individual. The past has been utterly ugly. Even in small relationships, even in families, the individual is crushed. Even two persons getting married and their individualities are in danger. Their intelligences are in danger. We have become so accustomed through thousands of years to possessing each other. Freedom is only a beautiful word. Poets sing songs of it, dreamers dream about it, but reality is simply a sick slavery. Everybody is trying to enslave everybody else. And in slavery, naturally, a few things which are very delicate start dying. Intelligence, sensitivity, responsibility, individuality. Marriage is the smallest group, only two persons. Then the groups go on becoming bigger and bigger. The bigger the group, the more you are lost. And then there are nations, great religions. There are 700 million Catholics. Once you become a Catholic, or unfortunately you may have been born a Catholic, you don't have any scope, any space to expand. From everywhere your wings are cut, you are kept reduced in every possible way. Because if you are allowed freedom, there is a danger you may not be Catholic at all. You have to be blind to be a Catholic, to be a Mohammedan, to be a Hindu, to be a Buddhist. If your eyes open, it becomes impossible for you to remain confined to superstitions, lies of all kinds, and to go on believing in fictions when your intelligence raises doubts. Your church demands of you never to doubt. That is the greatest sin. But intelligence never grows without doubting, without questioning. It is the natural growth of intelligence to question. Just to believe means the intelligence need not grow. For what and why? There is nothing to seek and nothing to search for. You simply have faith in the priest and keep your eyes closed. Every religion wants you not to use your intelligence. Their strategy is, believe, have faith. They don't say directly, don't use your intelligence. But in an indirect and in a cunning way, they stop you from using intelligence. If you have faith, there is no need for intelligence. If you have beliefs, there is no need for intelligence. And a man who has become retarded because of beliefs and faith cannot be sensitive. Sensitivity needs great intelligence. The higher your intelligence, the more sensitive you are. Buffaloes are not sensitive, neither are donkeys. It needs intelligence to be sensitive. But no religion wants you to be sensitive. They are all afraid of your becoming a power unto yourself. A sensitive person becomes a power, a tremendous powerhouse. He has his own intelligence, he has his own love, he has his own insight into things. He has clarity of vision, he has an aesthetic sense for beauty. All these things are dangerous. The wife does not want the husband to be sensitive towards beauty because that is a danger. There are so many beautiful women. It is better that all sensitivity for beauty is completely crushed. Then the husband remains henpecked forever. In the same way, no husband wants his wife to be sensitive about beauty, because there are so many men, and the wife, if her heart is still alive and beats, and if she can still feel the spring, there is danger. She can fall in love with somebody, and it is beyond your power. If you fall in love, you cannot do anything. You are simply helpless. The group demands that you and just survive, don't live. Just survive enough so that you can be used as labourers, as clerks, as police commissioners, as presidents, as prime ministers. But just survival, not more than that. Living totally, intensely, burning your torch of life from both sides together, you become a tremendous danger to the crowd. Because everybody starts feeling he could also have lived the way you are living. This dance could have been his too. This song could have been his too. And because you remind him about the wounds that he is carrying and hiding within himself, because you make him utterly nude and exposed to himself, he cannot forgive you. The reason for crippling the individual in the past is very clear, but the future has not to repeat the past. The future has to bring a new dawn to man's consciousness. Individuals can live together, share their love, share their joy, share their wisdom. But there is no need to possess anybody, not even your own children. You don't have any right to possess them. They come through you, but you are not their owners. There is no need of any marriage. These are the ugly institutions created by the collective mind. There is no need of any nations. With the disappearance of the nations, wars will disappear automatically. There is no need for organised religions because religion is a private phenomenon. It is nobody's business to interfere into my religion, and my religion does not belong to a tradition. Those who belong to a tradition don't have a religion, they only have a belief system. They have not found any truth by their own efforts. They have not created anything that they can call their own contribution to existence. They don't have any right for prayer. The existence has been giving you life and all that life implies. Its gifts are immeasurable. And if you cannot contribute anything creatively, all your prayers are just deceptions. There is no God to listen to them. You are talking to yourself. If people start talking to themselves, you call them mad. But if they say they are doing prayer, you call them great saints, religious people. These are also mad because there is no God, no evidence, no proof. It is better if they start talking to the trees. At least there is someone. But they raise their eyes towards the sky, hoping that, sitting on a golden throne, God is listening. For millions and millions of years, your prayers. Either he must have gone mad and jumped out of his golden throne and committed or he must have become frozen, a fossil. Nobody's prayer is ever heard, and nobody's prayer is ever answered. All your prayers are monologues. But society has been playing with individuals in such inhuman ways that even madness is praised if it is helpful to keep people in control. All the morality, also called religious discipline, is nothing but to keep people in control. I want you to be in your own control, to take responsibility in your own hands. Be alert and aware, and out of your awareness will come all your relatedness, friendships, loves, societies, communes. But there is no need for anybody to sacrifice. All our relationships have become poisonous, and a great revolution is needed to change all this garbage of centuries that has collected around our beings. But it is possible. Not only possible, it has to happen because there is a limit to everything. This insanity that we have lived with for thousands of years has come to the peak. Because of this madness, we have created nuclear weapons, knowing well that if any war happens, it will be the destruction of all. Nobody will be defeated, nobody will be victorious. Still, nations go on creating nuclear weapons. Even poor nations, which are not able to feed their people, want to join the race, want to put billions of dollars into destructive war material. By scientific calculations, by the end of this century, 25 nations will join the nuclear club. Right now, there are only 5 nations which have nuclear weapons. Of the remaining 20 that will join by the end of this century, India is one. Pakistan is also one. In this country alone, 500 million people will be dying by the end of the century, but nobody is interested in that. Your politicians are interested in getting more uranium, more materials to create nuclear weapons. You will be surprised that almost half of this country is hungry. People go to sleep with no food in their stomachs. If they can manage 1 meal a day, they are very fortunate. And India is ready to give wheat to purchase more of the war materials necessary for creating atomic energy, nuclear weapons, and being ready for a third world war. It is not a question of some individual gone mad. It is the whole humanity which has gone crazy. This is the very limit, unbearable. Either we have to commit because of all these idiots who are creating the situation for a global murder, or we have to change the whole past, its institutions, its education, its ways of living, its ways of being religious. Unless we are ready for a total revolution, man cannot be saved. my hope is that howsoever far man may have gone crazy, he still wants to live. His will to live is the only hope left. We have to put more fire into the will to live. We have to create wildfires around the world for more life, for more love, for more songs, for more music, so that it becomes impossible for humanity to go along with these political, scientific and other kinds of madmen to commit suicide. It all depends on the vast humanity in the world. If they simply say, we have decided to live and we have decided to make this world more beautiful, and we have decided to dissolve nations so that we can dissolve wars, and we have decided to dissolve religions because they are also causes of war and discrimination. Unless such a miracle happens, man's history has come to its last chapter.